What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Wednesday, November 19th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it will take you to that page. The public uproar surrounding decades-old sexual abuse allegations against legendary comedian Bill Cosby have not yet affected his scheduled stand-up tour. Multiple venues contacted The Hollywood Reporter stated that the performer is still set to take the stage as planned, including the Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas, where he will be performing on Thursday. Cosby is also slated to perform on November 28th at the Treasure Island in Las Vegas and on November 29th at the Capitol Theater in Yakima, Washington. The tickets are still available for both. He has tour dates scheduled through May 2015. The legendary comedian continues to face sexual assault allegations from years past. A new allegation came Tuesday when former supermodel Janice Dickinson alleged Cosby raped her in 1982. These claims have resulted in NBC to dropping a planned series, Netflix shelving a comedy special, and TV Land pulling repeats of The Cosby Show. Cosby has denied the allegations through statements from his reps and legal counsel. NBC decided not to move forward with its planned family comedy starring the former Cosby Show star, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. The decision comes after Netflix postponed its post-Thanksgiving Cosby special. NBC declined comment. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter that NBC never received the final script for the project, which also didn't have a production commitment. Cosby was poised to star in an untitled comedy from Sony Pictures Television, in which he was to play a family patriarch and father to 3 married daughters with children. NBC handed out a script plus significant penalty for the comedy earlier this year, tapping Rules of Engagement alum Steve Sikowitz and Mike O'Malley from Shameless to write and produce the comedy. O'Malley was eyed for a co-starring role on the comedy, which NBC Entertainment topper Bill Greenglass envisioned for a summer or fall 2015 debut. NBC's decision to scrape the new Cosby Show comes after decade-old rape allegations against the legendary comedian resurfaced. In 2006, Cosby settled out of court with Andrea Constant, who claimed that he sexually assaulted her. According to court documents, the attorneys plan to bring forward 13 other women with similar allegations. In an essay on Hollywood Elsewhere, former actress, music publicist, and journalist Joan Tarish wrote that Cosby drugged and raped her on 2 occasions in the fall of 1969 when she was 19. Barbara Bauman, another alleged victim, wrote in the Washington Post op-ed last week that she was drugged and raped by Cosby in the 1980s. For her part, Bauman blasted NBC for its plans to put the Emmy winner back on TV in such a role. Bauman said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, "I think it's irresponsible to put him back in a position of a patriarchal father in an authoritative and trusted position. I'm very disappointed that he would be endorsed in that type of role again." On Tuesday, new allegations surfaced, this one from former supermodel Janice Dickinson, who claimed in an Entertainment Tonight interview that Cosby raped her in 1982. The rape allegations resurfaced after critics complained that a new Cosby biography left out the rape allegations and after stand-up comedian Hannibal Buress excoriated Cosby on stage last month. Then, in an ill-timed move, Cosby's PR team attempted to focus on the comedian's colorful history as a pitchman and star of The Cosby Show with a meme generator effort on social media that instantly backfired. Cosby, meanwhile, has remained silent. The comedian canceled appearances on The Queen Latifah Show and The Late Show with David Letterman to support his Thanksgiving comedy special on Netflix. In a statement released on November 16th, Cosby's rep said the resurfaced allegations are untrue, and Cosby himself refused to respond to questions about the claims during an NPR interview November 15th. The Barclay Center is suing Fashion Rock's producer, claiming $1.3 million owed. CBS isn't the only one claiming it owes money for the live event Fashion Rocks. Weeks after the broadcaster's multi-million-dollar lawsuit, the Barclay Center, the New York City arena where the event was staged, has sued the event's producer, alleging $1.3 million in unpaid debts. The complaint filed Thursday claims that Three Lions Entertainment entered into an agreement to rent the arena for the Ryan Seacrest-hosted Bash, which was designed to bring fashion and music together and featured performances by Nicki Minaj, Jennifer Lopez, and Pitbull. The bill Three Lions owed the arena came to almost $2 million, which was offset by about $600,000 in ticket sales to the September 9th show, according to the complaint. The arena's management has not received a cent of the $1.3 million balance the complaint claims. The Three Lions, which is run by Richard Beckman, a former chief executive of The Hollywood Reporter, publisher Prometheus Global Media, and Greenberg Traurig partner Joel Katz, allegedly does not dispute the amount the arena claims it owes. Instead, when sent the bill, CEO Beckman is said to have admitted the company doesn't have the money at all to pay for the bill. It's likely Three Lions is in the process of being liquidated. The Barclay Center's complaint claims that the same day the news of the broadcaster's lawsuit was reported, the arena's management received an email for a purported liquidating trustee for Three Lions confirming that the company owes $1.3 million but does not have the funds. CBS, which aired the event to poor ratings, claims Beckman said in a phone conversation that the company is insolvent. Neither Katz nor Beckman were immediately available for interview. Jon Lovitz's legal battle with the manager of his eponymous Los Angeles Comedy Club has come to an end. The Saturday Night Live alum filed suit last year against Frank Kelly, who partnered with him in 2009 to launch Jon Lovitz Comedy Club on Universal City Walk in Universal City. Lovitz alleged that he had invested $1.5 million in the club and left the day-to-day operations to Kelly. In his complaint, which was filed by Marty Singer and David Jones of LA's Lavely and Singer, the comic claims that Kelly had left the club in financial disarray. He alleged his partner had made personal purchases of over $100,000 with the company's credit card and had mismanaged the club's finances, including pickpocketing money he was supposed to pay performers. Kelly responded with counterclaims against the comedian. In this lawsuit, Lovitz appears to be channeling one of his most recognizable characters, Tommy Flagg, in The Pathological Liar reads the countersuit filed by attorney Alexander Polychechno at Bash and Polygon Techno. The club's financial difficulties were Lovitz's fault, Kelly agreed. He alleged. He claimed the comedian had agreed to financially back the club, but quickly became unable or unwilling to provide the needed funding. The comic, meanwhile, made irresponsible expenses like a $210,000 TV sign to promote the club and a $20,000 advertising campaign that didn't actually refer to the club, Kelly claimed. Lovitz has defamed him by accusing him of keeping money he owed to performers. He alleged further. Lovitz has falsely told comedians Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman they hadn't been paid because Kelly had taken their money and embezzled for the club, Kelly claims, and he defamed Kelly to others by calling him a poor manager and blaming him for the financial problems of the club. The partners have now amicably resolved their differences, according to a joint statement from their attorneys on Wednesday. They have mutually dismissed the case. Halle Berry won't be featured in any more marketing for watchmaker Toy Watch SPA. The extant star sued the Italian designer and its brand agents. Allegedly, they violated her publicity and private rights, trademark, and slogan by using her in advertisements for their watches without her permission. Toy Watch then pursued the unusual defense of subpoenaing the actress's trade-out agreements she might have made with designers to give her products, which the defense claims could constitute implicit consent to appeal in the designer's marketing materials. But the parties' attorneys announced last month that they were close to a settlement, and they submitted a permanent injunction and joint dismissal of the case to the California federal judge John Kronstadt on Monday. Toy Watch denies wrongdoing but agrees not to use Berry in its advertisements. The injunction comes a month after Sandra Bullock settled a similar dispute with the same company. Condé Nast has agreed to pay $5.85 million to settle a class action lawsuit filed by two former interns. The publisher was sued in June 2013 by Laura Bollinger and Matthew Labe, who had interned at W Magazine and New Yorker, respectively, on behalf of about 7,500 similarly situated former interns on claims that it had violated New York and federal labor laws by not paying them minimum wage. The settlement, if approved by the court, would compromise payments of $700 to $1,900 to each plaintiff, depending on the kind of internship the plaintiff had and if he or she received any pay. It follows NBC Universal's payoff of $6.4 million several weeks ago to end its own internship lawsuit, which was led by a former Saturday Night Live intern. Elite Model Management settled its internship lawsuit in January, while an array of similar lawsuits remain in play against Fox, Sony, Viacom, ICM, and others. Condé Nast shuttered its internship program this year. The judge who will hear Jay-Z and Warner Bros. Motion to dismiss a copyright infringement suit against the rapper has stated his skepticism towards plaintiff Tough America's claim. The litigious label sued Hova in November 2013 for allegedly sampling a single syllable, the word "O," in his 2009 hit Run This Town. The label contends that the O is ripped without permission from a song from which it has the copyright. Eddie Bo Hook and Sling Part 1. Jay-Z moved to dismiss this September, and New York federal judge Louis Kaplan will hear the motion argue on November 19th. But in his announcement of the hearing, Kaplan added, as this court has listened to the audio of the accused works on a number of times without once discerning the alleged sample of the word "O," plaintiffs should be prepared to demonstrate its presence in appropriate, perceptible ways. If the rapper dodges this lawsuit, he'll still have to deal with a more complicated infringement lawsuit over a sampling of an Egyptian tune in his early hit, Big Pimpin', and he's fighting his sound engineer's claims for recognition as a co-author on hits including Big Pimpin' and Things That You Do. The lawsuit from a bit part actor in Titanic over back pay from the blockbuster is officially sunk. BJ, professionally known as Abrax Lorini, has dropped his suit against the film's production companies and distributors, including Paramount, 20th Century, and James Cameron's Lightstorm, weeks after a California federal judge threw overboard his claims of right of publicity and misappropriation of likeness. The actor claimed in his lawsuit that he had been hired as an extra but had been cast on the spot as this Finding Portal, which involves spending an additional 90 days on the set carrying luggage in a scene with Kathy Bates and reciting some dialogue. He should have then been given the opportunity to join the Screen Actors Guild, he alleged, which would have entitled him to foreign royalties, residuals from the televised airings of the film, and other back pay. He's now dropped his remaining claims of concealment, unfair business practice, and unjust enrichment. Larry Wilmore's Comedy Central show won't be titled The Minority Report. Instead, it will take a cue from one of the channel's flagship shows. The new series will retitle The Nightly Show and will premiere on January 19th, according to the New York Times. Wilmore, a former correspondent on The Daily Show, was named in May to host of the forthcoming 11:30 p.m. show, which will take place of The Colbert Show, or rather The Colbert Report. When the comedian's show was first announced, the original title was The Minority Report with Larry Wilmore. In an interview with The Times, Wilmore said that name change was to avoid brand confusion. Wilmore told the newspaper it was never intended to be a show only about minorities. It's a show about underdogs, and that happens in a lot of different forms, whether it's race, gender, or whatever. The last episode of Stephen Colbert's The Colbert Report is set to air on December 18th on Comedy Central. The high-profile Steve Jobs movie has been put into turnaround by Sony Pictures, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. The movie, which was being produced by Scott Rudland, Mark Gordon, and Guymon Cassidy, was to be directed by Danny Boyle from a script by Aaron Sorkin. Michael Fassbender is attached to play the Apple co-founder. The much-discussed project, based on Walter Isaacson's biography of Jobs, will now be shopped to other studios. Universal is said to be interested in the project with an eye on next year's award season. Rudden is said to also be eyeing it for the 2015 award season, but the film has struggled to cast a lead, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Christian Bale both circling for a time. Bale withdrew earlier this month, with Fassbender the latest expressing interest in playing Jobs. Universal declined to comment. One source says Boyle needed the film to go into production in January because he had a short window before starting another project. Sony has several movies already in production for 2015 and wanted the film to shoot later. Also, Fassbender has commitments for Fox's X-Men Apocalypse in the spring. Sony declined to comment. Sources also say that Annapurna Pictures, the production and financing shingle run by Megan Ellison, was to be involved as a partner on the featured project and had backed out. But an Annapurna insider says the company was never involved. Despite that, producers were still in the midst of casting the project and made an offer to Scarlett Johansson for a part. Seth Rogen was being eyed to play Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. Paul Greengrass is looking to bring George Orwell's classic dystopian novel 1984 back to the big screen. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that the British director is taking charge of the Sony Pictures project, with Scott Rudin on board to produce, with Gina Rosenblum and James Graham, who wrote the book for the Finding Neverland musical, will take on writing duties. With the project still in its early stages, no actors have yet been cast. Deadline first reported the news. Orwell's tells of a world where, due to a perpetual war, state surveillance is omnipresent. The novel coins the term Big Brother, and the themes are an eerie reflection of the modern day controversies of drones, CCTV, phone hacking, and government infringement of privacy laws. Michael Radford brought the novel to the screen appropriately enough in 1984, and the film stars John Hurt as Winston Smith. Greengrass worked with Rudin on the critically acclaimed Captain Phillips and will also work together on the Martin Luther King movie, Memphis. The two are also circling Agent Storm, the story of a CIA double agent for Sony. Greengrass will also be keeping himself busy with another installment, his third, on the phenomenally successful Bourne franchise, with Matt Damon primed to return. The Billboard 200 Albums chart will premiere its biggest upgrade in more than 23 years, transforming from a pure sales-based ranking to one measuring multi-metric consumption. Beginning with the chart revealed on Wednesday, December 3rd on Billboard.com, and the Billboard issue dated December 13th. The chart, which currently tracks the top 200 albums of the week by sales alone, will be the first to include on-demand streaming and digital track sales as measured by Nielsen Entertainment by the way of a new algorithm. It is the most substantial methodology update since May 1991, when Billboard first used Nielsen's point-of-sales date SoundScan to measure album sales. The revamped chart will premiere with data from Thanksgiving weekend ending November 30th, one of the most active music release periods of the year. The new methodology aims to provide a better sense of an album's popularity by reflecting not just on sales but consumption activity. The updated Billboard 200 will utilize accepted industry benchmarks for digital and streaming data, equating 10-digit digital track sales from an album to one equivalent album sale and 1,500 song streams from an album to one equivalent album sale. All of the major on-demand audio subscription services are considered, including Spotify, Beats Music, Google Play, and Xbox Music. Current artists like to benefit from this change, and methodology includes Ariana Grande, Hozier, and Maroon 5, among others, as their streaming and digital song sales have been outperforming their album sales in recent years. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, November 19th, 2014. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RYMLO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report and it will take you to our page. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow.